Welcome back to Grief Inspired. My name is Catherine McNulty. I love getting comments and questions from all of you on my YouTube videos, and I will continue to answer them. So today I have someone who sent me a message, and at the end of her message, she said, I don't know how to do this. And this is the question that I'm going to address today. So I got this comment from No More Tears, and she said, this is so hard. My son died 3 weeks ago, leaving behind 2 daughters, their moms, and siblings of these daughters who also loved, his name was Tyler. All are age 10 and under. We have to keep moving forward for these children. We are all going to the Christmas zoo lights on this Friday. It helps the children to have something to look forward to, but for me, it's very painful. I remember the last time I went with my son to the zoo just 2 days before he died. I have to go forward without him so I can help my grandkids. He would want that. But him not being with us will be almost too much for me to bear. I don't know how to do this. My heart goes out to you, No More Tears, in so many ways. And I think that women have a tendency to push forward and bear it all for the people that they love. And that is a good quality. But it can also be really, really challenging. She talks in here about taking the kids to do something normal. And I love that so much, right? Keeping continuity of what's going on, keeping things that are joyful, particularly during the Christmas holiday season, I think is important. But for her, she has so much to sacrifice by doing that. And so it sounds like, No More Tears, that you're already going to the Christmas lights or you've already gone. And I want to hear how that has gone. But I want us all to be careful about the painful things that we try to put ourselves through. My advice would have been, if the zoo was a special place for you and your son, and it sounds like it was because you were just there with him before he passed, then maybe going to the zoo is asking a little bit too much of you, right? Maybe a different lights show that isn't at the zoo, that doesn't evoke all of those memories, because what will make it really hard for you is all of the memories of every moment that you were there with him as you're trying to move forward. So I love that you, want to support the children, and I think that's so important, and keep some continuity and some normalcy in their life. I want to encourage you to, these kids are young, so they're under 10. I want to encourage you to talk to them about their father. Don't try to shield them from the pain of your grief. And then I would say, when you're looking to find something to do for them, make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you're not putting yourself in positions that are much too hard. I mean, you say in this note here, it's almost too much for me to bear. So if it is too much for you to bear, why would you force yourself to do it? Right? You could choose something else that's a little less impactful for you, that would also still be fun for the children. Again, we need to teach our children and teach others that grief is okay and that it is part of our life, right? So you talk to them about grief at a level that they understand. We think somehow if we don't talk about it that they might not be thinking about it. But if these kids have lost their father, I can guarantee that they're thinking about him and they're wondering where he is and they're wondering why he's not around. And so I want also anyone who has children that have survived a significant loss, like losing a parent or someone very, very close to them, I want to encourage you to get some support in that. Whether it be therapy for yourself, whether it be therapy for the children, therapy jointly. I think that that's so important to process it and to be able to talk about it and not just shield our children from the pain. Yes, we want to protect them as grandparents, as parents, as loved ones. But it's an important thing to do, to let them know that it's okay to be sad, that whatever they're feeling is okay, to one, to feel it, and then two, to be able to talk about it if they want to. So we don't want to necessarily prod them too much to share everything, but it's sort of creating a space where if they want to share and they want to talk about it, then they can. And please, please, please take care of yourself. Don't put yourself into situations that are more painful than they need to be. Like, this is already an incredibly challenging time for you. This is a time to take care of yourself as well. That there is no points in self-sacrificing yourself and making it harder on yourself. Because what we ultimately want to teach our children is not only how to grieve, that is important, but that as we grieve, we learn how to take care of ourselves and we learn how to be gentle with ourselves and give ourselves some grace and maybe some forgiveness, and not be too beating up ourselves for things that we are perceived as things that we have done wrongly, right? There is a lesson for all of us in grief around taking care of ourselves, forgiving ourselves, giving ourselves grace, and letting go of some of the control and saying, yes, some of this is bigger than what we can handle on our own. And sometimes we need to ask for help, and that is always okay. And that is where strength lies, not in the hiding and the avoidance. So I hope that this goes well for you. No more tears. I want you to reach back out to me at griefInspired@gmail.com. Let me know how it went. Comment on this video so that the other people who are watching can know how it went for you. Grief is a process none of us are prepared for most of the time. It is a learning process as we go, as we educate ourselves. And all I can say is I want to inspire you to lean into your grief. And when you do, you will find healing. So please, please remember that grief is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. But then I'm here to help.